Well, folks, I am back, and so is Jasper Kitty. After a wild weekend with no podcast yesterday, and me covering all of these live events, including Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Game Showcase, today we try to get things back to normal here on the Level 1 podcast, or do we? Because today is actually a catch-up day for me to do the React show that I didn't do yesterday because I was live reacting to a different thing to live react to, the Xbox Game Showcase. We got a lot to talk about today, including what happened both Saturday and Sunday, and what's coming up this week and next, because now the schedule is looking jam-packed with new content and fun. So I hope that you're ready for a big catch-up podcast on today's show coming up right now. Alrighty, everybody. Welcome to the show. It is Monday, the 10th of June, 2024. I'm DSP. This is the Level 1 podcast. And for those who weren't here yesterday, well, no one was because there was no podcast yesterday. I was up bright and early reacting to the Xbox Game Showcase, which is why we skipped the day, essentially, with the podcast. And for a lot of people, that's weird. They're like, but you're here 6 days a week straight. To not have the podcast for a day is a weird break. I know. So today we got to play catch-up, okay? So, FYI, before we get to catching up, today's schedule is a weird one. We're going to be doing the show here like we usually do, and then, as soon as this show ends, we're all going to head over to DSP Reacts for my weekly clip show, DSP versus the Internet. Now, I'm well aware it's Monday, not Sunday when I would normally do that, but that's because we didn't do it yesterday, okay? Tonight, we have a special stream at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Time. I'm going to be doing a lobby with Brian, a.k.a. Top Tier Rated from over on Twitch. Yes, this is the same person who I played a couple weeks ago in a private lobby in Street Fighter 6, and it went really well. So we're doing it again, this time around, attempting to get my microphone to work, and we'll do voice communication during this special challenge event. He can't stay for the entire stream, but he's going to stay for a while, and then after that, if we have extra time, I'll probably just do some random online play. So, today is definitely a weird day. It's not standard gameplay or anything that you would expect on a normal Monday, but after today, we will get back into the swing of things with normal gameplay. Of course, we have new stuff coming up. We literally have new games coming up next week and the week after and the week after. We're going to basically hit like non-stop new stuff coming after this weekend. So, it's been very busy, right? Has it not? I have like content all over the place right now. I've got new content on this channel. I got content on the React channel that normally wouldn't be there. I've got content on the Throwback channel. So what I'd like to do is in the last 2 days, get you all caught up on what exactly has been going on, okay? First off, on Friday, I did a live react to the Summer Game Fest, but had some issues getting the videos live on the DSP Reacts channel. The good news is, those issues are cleared up. Any copyright things have basically been like resolved. There was a couple different things that ended up getting claimed over the weekend. So basically, I had to mute them. If I didn't mute them, the video got blocked. And I was like, well, that sucks. Why the hell are they using music that gets blocked? It was really dumb. So I had to mute a few very short segments of Summer Game Fest. I think they were like a minute each, so not a huge deal out of a 2-hour show. But you can watch that right now. You can watch both the raw live reaction to when the event was going on, and you can also watch my recap reactions that I did after the fact where I summarized the show into like 40 minutes and also gave you all my opinions on everything that happened during it. Okay? Now, on Saturday, it was a weird day. Why? Because we ended up changing the schedule based on Summer Game Fest. At Summer Game Fest, they announced a surprise drop of the first DLC for Alan Wake 2. If you had purchased the expansion pass for Alan Wake 2, which oddly enough had cost $20 at launch, but now that the DLCs are starting to drop, it only costed $16. So if you bought it early when the content wasn't available, it was more expensive. If you buy it now when the content is available, it's cheaper. If anything, this is just concrete evidence. Do not buy these season passes, expansion passes, and everything early. You're literally hurting yourself. You would have robbed yourself of $4 if you bought it when the game released in November. There's no reason to buy it that early. There was nothing out to use it for, you see? Anyway, so on the first stream on Saturday, okay, we streamed the Night Springs DLC in Alan Wake 2. What it was 3 completely different episodes starring 3 of the side characters of the Alan Wake universe. There was the waitress from the diner that Alan Wake frequents. There was the sheriff of the town who was lost in the dark place for the entirety of the game. And then there was a new character, Jesse, who actually is the main protagonist of the other series that this game developer Remedy makes, Control, showing how she ties into the plot. Now, the weird thing about this is they had pushed this DLC saying, oh, this is a bunch of what-if scenarios. They're not canon, but they're kind of like wacky stories. Well, they were, but the thing was, if you played through them, you realize they're not like unrelated what-if scenarios. They're directly related. In fact, the third DLC story completely explains the story of Mr. Door, one of the major antagonist characters of Alan Wake 2. So if you don't play this DLC, you're really missing out on actual critical plot elements of Alan Wake universe. I really liked it. I thought it was a great time. Really, it was. It really was a great time. It was good variety and fun. And it broke stuff up, which was nice. I told you guys that at these events, sometimes we get surprise drops, right? And this was definitely one of them. So it was awesome. I went ahead and played through it, and we got it done in one stream because each episode is roughly about an hour long. And you can watch those episodes right now on this channel if you're interested. I really liked it. Now, there's another DLC for Alan Wake 2 later in the year called The Lake House. That's supposed to be more like a mainline DLC tied directly to the plot of the game. I'm looking forward to that as well, but there's no current information on that as it stands. All right? So now here's the thing. Because I played the Night Springs DLC as the day stream on Saturday, this had changed my schedule around. Originally, it was supposed to be Crow Country on the first stream on Saturday, but we ended up scrapping those plans. So I said, you know what? Let's change the schedule around and let's make Crow Country the late stream instead. And so we did. And let me tell you, the Crow Country stream on Saturday night, wow, we had a lot of fun. Not only did we make major advancements in the plot, but I went around getting all of the secrets of the game because I had actually found a secret map that shows all the secrets of the game on the map and it lets you go around and try to discover them. So I think I did like 14 out of the 15 secrets. I think there's one that I can't do. So because of that, we made giant progress. I found the shotgun. I found the flamethrower. I found the magnum. I had upgrades to all 3 of those weapons plus the handgun. We got increased capacity for ammo on certain guns. We got speed. You can now run fast because I put on running shoes, so I can run super fast now. And increased potency of medkits. So literally, we got like 10 upgrades that were humongous. And it was super fun doing that. Some of the puzzles were actually quite challenging, and others were much more easy. But we had a great time, great interactive stream, lots of engagement. And I'll tell you, the people who are watching on demand are continuing to really enjoy Crow Country, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy that many of you are sticking around to watch this indie game that looks old, but plays well, okay? So thank you for that. And, we're going to continue that this week. In fact, I'll talk about it in a moment when we get to the schedule. So that was Saturday, all right? Why am I talking about that on Monday? Because we didn't get to talk about it because I didn't do a podcast yesterday, all right? So why didn't I do the podcast yesterday? Because it was the Xbox and Call of Duty Black Ops 6 game showcase. Here's all my notes from that event, okay? So actually 2 sides for notes for that event. And the original rumor was that the Xbox showcase was going to be 2 hours long, and then they were going to do the Call of Duty showcase. That was not correct. Actually, the Xbox showcase was only a little over an hour long, and then it took them maybe roughly about 25 minutes to talk about Black Ops. So basically, it ended up being just over like an hour and a half long, this raw react. So I did a live react to that over on the DSP Reacts channel, which is me just talking right over as it's happening live. And then I ended up doing a recap reactions again, just like I had done for Summer Game Fest, where I summarized that event and gave my opinions on the things in it. I will say this, I was very pleased with the stream, and here's why. Not my stream, but the Xbox stream. They utilized full 4K resolution and 60 frames per second. Summer Game Fest claimed they were going to do that and didn't. It never hit 4K resolution, and it was always like 20 to 30 frames. They kind of flubbed it. I don't know why they claimed it was going to be such a great quality, and it wasn't. The Xbox stream looked great. A lot of the games were actually running around 60 frames and made them look quite good, and I was pleased with that because it feels more representative of what these games are going to be when they actually come out. Now, in regards to some of the stuff that happened at the Xbox event, I could sit here and talk in detail about the whole thing, but the thing is, I already did that in my recap reactions, did I not? So I don't see the reason to go through the entirety of the event again. But what I would like to do is take a look at the game release dates that were discussed and revealed in this event, and I would actually like to add some of these games to my game release schedule. So now I will have a big look at everything going on between now and the end of the year when it comes to games and their release dates. Okay? So, right now, we already know Call of Duty is coming out on October 25th, so I'm going to do that. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 6, October 25th. And if you are a Game Pass Ultimate subscriber, as I am, you get access to the beta. So I will have access to the beta whenever it comes out. Probably, I would think, late summer, early fall. And yeah, I'll check it out. Here's why. I'm going to be able to play this game at either 4K resolution, 60 frames per second, or 1080p, 120 frames if the game runs at that. We don't know if it does, but I have the capability to run it at 120 hertz, 120 frames on my TV and my setup with VRR. So I'm curious how it will actually perform on the Xbox Series X. I'm very excited because it might be the best looking FPS I've ever played, and maybe I'll actually get really great response time and everything because of my setup now. Okay, so looking through all of these release dates, all right, let's see here. Dragon Age 4 is coming out fall 2024. We just don't know the time or the date yet, and we're supposed to have an event tomorrow where they're going to reveal gameplay and things like that, so maybe we'll have more information about that tomorrow. Let's see here. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm trying to find the games that I was definitively interested in, and that have dates. Maybe Age of Mythology Retold, because it is Game Pass, and I might just want to give it a shot. So that is September 9th. Excuse me. September 4th. I had that wrong. It's September 4th. So I'm putting that into the schedule. Age of Mythology is an RTS game, similar to, say, like Civilization or Age of Empires, but there's gods involved and monsters and stuff, which is kind of neat. And apparently it was a very popular PC game back in the day, so now they are re-releasing it as a modern game. So that's kind of cool. I might check that out. Let's see here. Looking through more of these dates. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Man, I'm excited for that. 3 years ago, in 2021, we played Flight Simulator on the Xbox Series X over the course of the summer. It was very fun and relaxing to just fly around these world locations. And when I did that, typically people would come by and tell me little factoids and things about those locations. In fact, some of the places we flew, like over Great Britain and stuff like that, were places where people actually lived in my chat. And they would tell us about the landmarks and things that we were seeing. It was super duper relaxing and fun. So I'm actually very excited for the new Flight Simulator, which, by the way, looked great. Like, the graphics looked super duper good. And that was one of the criticisms of the last Flight Sim, is that when you look detailed, it didn't look very good. This one might be a lot better. So, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024. That is on, let's see here, November 19th. And it's funny because some people were saying to me during the event, Phil, why are you taking physical notes? Why aren't you using your phone and just typing in there? I have fat thumbs. My thumbs are chubby, and when I try to type anything on this phone, I always fat thumb it, and I always get the wrong thing. No lie, just typing MS Flight Sim 2024 November 19th, I had 2 typos that I had to erase and go back. Imagine me trying to type anything during the live event, and it goes to the next thing, oh, shit, I didn't finish, and, you know, that's why I have to write on paper. Yeah, I wish I had smaller fingers, but nope. Okay. Let's see here. Life is Strange Double Exposure, the direct sequel to the original Life is Strange game. Yes, that's right. It's not Life is Strange 2 is the sequel. It actually wasn't. This actually is. Okay. October 29th. So I'm going to put that down because it actually stars the main character of Life is Strange 1, Max Caulfield, she still has her powers. And she's basically trying to change time to save her friend's life from, because she's like murdered. She's trying to go back in time to save her friend. Which is kind of interesting. So, got that. Let's see here. Avowed is coming out this year, but no date, which is very frustrating because everyone wants to know when it's coming out and we don't know. I think I already have Assassin's Creed Shadows on here. No, I don't. Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadows is November 15th. Once again, another typo. All right. And AC Shadows, if I get the Ubisoft, what is it? Ubisoft Access or Ubisoft, I can't remember what exactly it's called. It's that subscription thing. If I just get it for the month for like $15, I should be able to get the game and play through it. And even if it ends up being shitty, at least I only spent $15, right? Oh, really? Avowed is November 12th. They literally dropped the date today. Oh, good. Okay. So thank you. So that's November 12th. Let's put that on there. Avowed, November 12th. Thank you for that. Good, because I'm playing that one. Stalker 2, I think I already have on here. It's September 5th. Yep, I have Stalker 2 on there. All right, and that's really it for dates. So now, just to go through the newly updated game release schedule for the year, which might update again because once we get dates for things like Dragon Age and stuff like that, there'll be more. Still Wakes the Deep on June 18th. That is 1 day from tomorrow. Or excuse me, 1 week from tomorrow. Yes, I'm checking that out. The Elden Ring DLC, Shadows of the Erd Tree on June 21st. And Street Fighter 6's next update, M. Bison, comes out June 26th. Those are the guaranteed things I'm doing. Some maybes are the new Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble game on the 25th and Luigi's Mansion 2 HD Remake on the 27th. Not sure if I'm doing those, though. July is literally empty. It's literally, there's nothing really major at all going on in July. All we've got is the Nintendo World Championships on July 18th and that Kunitsugami game on July 19th, which actually is a Game Pass game, but no one even knows what the game is. We saw, gameplay of it at Summer Game Fest, and it didn't look anything like what it previously looked like. Like, previously it looked like an action game. Now it doesn't look like an action game anymore. So everyone's like, what the hell is it? Is it a sim game? Like, no one knows, including me. I'm confused, too. I can't make heads or tails of what the game is supposed to be. I guess I should look online and see if I can figure it out. They probably have more information there. But that's it. That's literally it for July. So what it's looking like for the month of July. All right. We're going to have an open month where I'm going to basically play catch-up on stuff. I'm likely going to play through and finish this DLC in Elden Ring. Probably going to play a lot of Street Fighter 6 with Bison and maybe other characters. Probably going to continue with Fallout 4. But then we're going to figure out what else we want to do. Right? And we might have time to maybe go back and resume some playthroughs that have been on hold. We may have a chance to play some games that I've missed. There's going to be a lot of opportunity for variety in July because that's kind of the open month for us this year. All right? Maybe we'll do a classic playthrough because some people are like, every summer you do a classic playthrough. 2 years ago, you did, what was it? Earthbound, I think. And I also did another one, too. I did like 2 classic playthroughs 2 summers ago. And then last year I did Chrono Trigger. So maybe this year I do another one like that. I don't know. We'll have to see. Keep in mind, I can play stuff on my mini PC now. It gives me more variety and more options, right? So then in August, we have Black Myth Wukong on August 20th. Concord on August 23rd, although I really doubt I'm getting Concord. Star Wars Outlaws on August 30th. Outside of that, again, it's a pretty darn dead month, okay? So unless we get more release dates and shocking information in the next couple of days, it's really looking like the summer of July and first half of August are pretty empty. So we will have options. We'll have to talk about it and determine what it is we want to do for that time period. I'll definitely be open to suggestion of what you guys want. I'm sure we'll figure something out. There's more than enough to do. In fact, people have been clamoring for me to play various games over the course of this year that I never got to. So I'm sure we'll have different people of different opinions, vying for position, play this, play that, do this, do that. You know what I'm saying? We'll have to find out. So there you go. Oh, Jasper is now sitting on my lap. You're sitting. Okay. Then, September is when things start to heat up. Quidditch Champions comes out September 3rd. Age of Mythology Remake September 4th. Stalker 2 September 5th. The Astrobot full-length video game September 6th. Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 September 9th. So within the first week of September, there's 5 different games. Obviously, I can't play 5 games in 1 week. So likely what we'll do is pick and choose the ones I want to play first. Some might go on hold, some might come back later, and that's what we'll do. October now is loaded. We've got Silent Hill 2 Remake October 8th, Metaphor October 11th, Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero October 11th, Sonic X Shadow Generations October 25th, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 on October 25th, Life is Strange Double Exposure on October 29th. And that's all we know of for now. And then November, we've got Avowed on November 12th, AC Shadows on November 15th, and Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 on November 19th. So we are stacking up the fall nicely with all of these different game releases, right? I mean, that's a good lineup right now, and there's going to be even more, okay? Jex Gaming just said the beta date for Black Ops 6 is rumored to be August 29th to September 3rd. Makes sense. Like I said, did I not just say late summer, early fall is what I thought? And there you go. Whoops, there goes my sheet with all the notes for Xbox right on the floor. So, there you go. A lot of games, and there's more coming. Like I said, we don't have a date for Dragon Age. We don't have a date for a few games that kept saying fall. So, we shall see once we get more information on these games. And there's even more that I didn't put down there, too, that I may be interested in at some point. Right, Jasper? What game are you looking forward to the most? Oh, Jasper's sad. He was telling me the other day he's very, very upset because there's no Stray 2. And he's so looking forward to Stray 2. And there was no announcement of a Stray 2. And he's just like, do we gotta wait another year? And the answer is, yeah, we're gonna have to wait another year for info on Stray 2. Sorry, Jasper. I know you wanted it. I know you love Stray. I'm sorry. Poor guy. Alright, anyway. That's what happened during all these events, okay? So that's what we did yesterday. Now, the thing is, these events ended early. So I ended up having almost 3 full hours to stream, and we jumped back over here to DSPGaming, and I played Fallout 4. And yesterday's Fallout 4 stream went really well. First thing we did is we finished up that workshop DLC that we had been working on. And it only took maybe like a half an hour to do that, and I ended up getting a bunch of experience and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, great. Then we ventured out into the wasteland again, and someone had told me about this mission of a Chinese submarine. So I ended up doing that mission. That was fun. And then the final mission that we did took a while. It was the mission where you go to the giant ship that is shipwrecked on top of a building. It's the USS Constitution, and it's manned by a bunch of seafaring-style robots. They think that they're sailors, okay? You have to do a bunch of missions for them in order to basically get the ship working again. And that's all I'm going to say. But let me just tell you guys something, all right? This mission was wild and zany. There was crazy stuff going on. There was this town I stumbled upon on the way to doing some of this mission that was absolutely full of super mutants. And it was like an insane brawl where I was fighting a bunch of super mutants. And then it's like when Raiders showed up and then the Brotherhood of Steel showed up, there were explosions everywhere. There were enemies coming out of my ass. It was wild. It was like 20 minutes of straight combat without a break. I was like, what the hell is going on in this game right now? Then later on, at the end of this mission, to try to get, you know, these robots seaworthy, I guess I should say, this thing kept happening where I kept failing the mission. And I couldn't figure out what it was. And finally, after doing it for a while, people had an idea and they were right. And then I was like trying to do that and I still kept failing. So it was very fun. And basically we ended the stream at the very tail end of that mission. If you didn't see it, it's around over 2.5 hours of gameplay of Fallout 4 from yesterday that I originally wasn't planning on doing, but I got to do, and I'm happy that I did. And that is live on this channel. All right, so you give it a look. It was a fun time. Get caught up, because there'll be more Fallout 4 later in the week. Okay? Now, last night's late night stream over on the DSP Throwback channel was a retro react to one of my classic co-op playthroughs from the past called Rise of Nightmares. This is a Microsoft Kinect game, not from the Xbox One era, but previous, the original Kinect for Xbox 360. You know, back in the day when I was becoming a full-time YouTuber in 2011, I dropped a lot of money on this kind of junky peripheral stuff because I was one of the few people testing it all and putting out content of it all so people knew if it was good or not. In this case, Rise of Nightmares is not good. It is actually one of the worst motion control games they've ever made. The game is barely functional, very, very difficult. It lies to you and says, oh, you could change the difficulty at any time. You literally can't ever change the difficulty. So we started at like hard, or there's 3 levels: easy, standard, and hard, but you can't play hard from the get-go. You have to do medium first. So we started on medium, and we're like, dude, this thing doesn't work. This thing ridiculously is busted. We want to go to easy, and we keep trying to change it, and it won't change. The game locks you out of changing difficulty. They're full of shit. This game has an insane amount of enemies and stuff, and the controls barely work. It's like, dude, it's such a torturous event. We had a great time last night laughing at how bad this game was, okay? If you weren't there live, if you are currently a channel member over on DSP Throwback, you can watch that stream in its entirety on demand. If you're not a member, there's going to be 1 part a day released every day this week for 5 days. 1 part already went live last night, and another 4 parts will be going live starting tonight. So check that out on the channel, okay? Now, we actually had a good time playing it, or watching it, I should say, on the React. And the thing is, this game playthrough is short. It's 29 parts, and each part's 10 minutes. So if you do the math, it's roughly about 5 hours long, okay, give or take. So after doing it last night, we decided, let's do it again next week, and then it'll be nearly done. So what we could do the week after, in 2 weeks, only do like maybe an hour to finish that playthrough, and then jump over and do some Dark Souls, and then we'll start polling again to see what React you guys want to see on the channel. By then, we'll have about 3 weeks left until the Olympics start, and when the Olympics begin in real life over in Paris, we're going to resume the Mario and Sonic at the London Olympics playthrough from 2012 and get that going again, because we probably got 2 more streams of that to do, and that'll be very timely and pertinent, actually happening during the live Olympics in real life. So, the Throwback channel right now is in full swing and coming through nicely. Daily, we have new parts of LA Noire or Fallout 3 going live as for posterity purposes on the channel. I certainly hope you'll give it a look. So, just think about everything I just said. Full live react and recap reactions to Summer Game Fest on DSP Reacts. Full playthrough of the Night Springs DLC from Alan Wake 2 here on DSP Gaming. A full 2.5 hours of progress of awesome indie horror game Crow Country here on DSP Gaming. Full-length live react and then recap reactions to the Xbox and Black Ops 6 event over on DSP Reacts. 2.5 hours of Fallout 4 gameplay here on DSP Gaming. And the retro react to Rise of Nightmares starting over on DSP Throwback. That is an incredible amount of content. Like a ridiculous, incredible amount of content. Over the top amount of content that came out this weekend. So I hope you're enjoying it all right? I know that's a lot to absorb. I get it. I mean, you got to be like on 3 different channels. You got to be jumping around if you want to be in the know about all of it. I know not all of you care about all of it. Some of you only care about the React stuff. Some of you only care about the Throwback stuff. Some of you only care about the current new gameplay. So for those of you who like it all, you're eating well right now. You probably have a ginormous gourmet meal on a table, a smorgasbord of food sitting in front of you, and you're like, well, I'll have to pick at it slowly. You can't just gorge on it because you'll choke, right? I totally get that. I do hope that you enjoy it, though. And by all means, I will say this. I'm going to ask you for a favor. No matter what you're watching, if you're watching gameplay, you're watching a react, something else, please leave comments. And the reason I say that, I've been noticing that, in particular with the react stuff, it's getting views, it's getting likes, but almost no one's leaving comments. And comments are important. They open discussion for what's going on in the video, especially these react events, and they give engagement to the channel so more people can find the content. It's weird because I've definitely noticed over the last couple of weeks, maybe 1 or 2 videos hit the YouTube algorithm. Oddly enough, there's a react video from like a week to 2 weeks ago over on DSP Reacts that hit the algorithm and got like almost 2,000 views when all the other videos on the channel get like 200 views. But that's what I mean. If people actually engage with the content, if you like the videos, if you leave comments, it's more likely that videos of that channel will hit the algorithm. So please do that with the stuff that you're enjoying, okay? And if you leave a comment and you're like, oh, it didn't go live right away, that's because all my comments are held by YouTube because I get so many troll comments that YouTube auto-moderates, okay? So don't be worried if you leave a comment and it's not there right away. I have to get around to looking at the queue, going through and approving the good ones because YouTube holds everything because there's so many negative comments, it auto-moderates everything. So there you go. I'll take care of it. And if you left a good constructive comment, it will be live usually within 24 hours of you posting it on the video. I just need the time to get there. I usually check frequently. Like I check like sometimes 3-4 times a day if I have time between videos and breaks and things like that. I'll try to check and approve comments. Okay. All right, so that's everything going on right now. As I've already described, today we're doing this podcast. When this podcast ends, we're going to head over to DSP Reacts, and we're going to do my weekly clips react show, DSP versus the internet. I love doing the show. It's a good variety. I never know what clips are going to come because every week there's something different. But I just want to say, FYI, this week, I know for a fact we got some people who are trying to direct the show in a direction that's very toxic. You know, they're trying to submit clips because they think that they're going to get some kind of a certain kind of reaction from me. And I'm telling people ahead of time, when it comes to you want drama, reactions and stuff, you're not going to get it from me. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. People keep submitting clips of people who are having a bad time or whatever. And like, oh, well, this is someone who at one point was really bad to Phil. I'm sure he's going to razz them and get them back. And I'm just not going to do that. You know, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't care. I want people to be happy and be having a good time in life. And hopefully that would result in them being better people, right? Usually when people are nasty to others, it's because they're miserable with their lives or bad things going on. So they take it out on others. They try to project that negativity onto others to make them feel better about themselves or their own situation. If everyone was feeling good and happy, why the hell would they then be toxic to people around them, right? So I'm not going to share in the teardown of any other creators or anything like that. There's definitely a clip or two like that this week. You're going to see when we get to it. You ain't going to get what you're looking to get out of me, you know. But I will say this. I did notice that a few more people did become members over on DSP Reacts this week to submit clips. Okay, so we'll see how it goes today. The React show should be interesting today, okay? Then tonight, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, I'm doing a special Street Fighter 6 lobby with Brian, a.k.a. Top Tier Rated over on Twitch. It's the same premise of what we did 2 weeks ago, where I'll be playing with a variety of characters. He may or may not. Maybe he'll just pick his best Mono. I don't really mind either way. I'm just looking for better comp at this point than just randoms online. And the lobby's going to run likely between an hour to 2 hours. It depends on his timing because he said he can't stay up super duper late or anything like that tonight. But he does want to run some stuff. And we're actually going to have the microphone supposedly working. We're actually trying to get it in sync with Discord and everything so we can actually have like voice chat going as I actually play the game with him. I don't know how it works. We got to try to figure this out. We've never done it before. I looked up the instructions and it doesn't, like, it's really silly because it's like, oh, you can link Discord to your PS5. That's great. Does it have all the functions of Discord? Oh, absolutely not. You actually have to use the Discord on something else, whether on your PC or on your phone or somewhere else. And then you have to transfer the existing voice call to the PS5, but it's not clear what settings and things will be available once you do. So will this voice call be like way too loud over the sound of Street Fighter 6? Will it not be loud enough and we can't hear the game? Like there's no way to know until we mess with it. We can't mess with it until we're live, you know? So it's going to be an interesting thing tonight to try to figure this out. I don't know why they did it like that. Why not just have like, oh, here's an app, install it, and use all these settings ahead of time? No, you have to have a live call on another version, transfer to your console, and fuck with the settings while the call's already live. You can't prepare ahead of time. Wow, they really thought ahead there, huh? No, they didn't. It's pretty stupid. So, yeah, so what I'm probably going to do, I'll probably start the stream, but then I'm probably going to have everything muted while Brian and I are trying to get the bugs worked out of this fucking voice chat before we start, okay? Anyway, so that's tonight. I hope you'll join me for this fun session of Street Fighter 6 with hopefully voice communication. Hopefully it works tonight on the late stream. Tomorrow, we're going to continue with Crow Country and likely finish the game. Everyone says Crow Country is only around 9 hours long. At this point, we're just around 6 hours in. And at this point, I kind of know exactly what I need to do. There's 4 areas where you have to go underground with elevators. In one area, you got to remove electricity from a door and investigate that area. In another area, you have to find acid and fill a bottle with it to solve a puzzle. Use that puzzle to then get the final key, which unlocks another area, which gets you a battery. You can then go underground again to charge said battery. And then you put that battery into the crow statue, and apparently that gets you to the final area of the game, whatever it may be. So, that should be fun to figure out tomorrow. By the way, that's just what I know from playing the game. I didn't look it up. There may be more to the game that I'm not aware of, but it looks like we're on pace to kind of finish it on tomorrow's daytime stream. Okay? Tuesday night, ladies and gentlemen, listen up, because I don't know if you guys paid attention to this or not. A premiere on Tuesday night, for the first time ever, I'm actually doing a late night stream of Stardew Valley. Stardew Valley has been in demand by people over the last several years, actually. Many people saying, hey, if you're ever going to do a late night chill stream, I'd really like if you played Stardew Valley. This is a game that a lot of people apparently really, really like. And there's apparently a lot to it. It's not just a farming sim or a town sim. It's got dungeons. It's got other interesting parts about it. So we're doing this Tuesday night as the stream. It's going to be around 2 to 2.5 hours of Stardew Valley, and we're going to try it out. Now, I don't know if it's going to work, but if it works, then we can keep it in the rotation. If it doesn't work, then we don't have to. But I just want to give it a shot, okay? So I hope that you guys will join me for that Tuesday night. Then on Wednesday, the day stream will be Fallout 4, and the night stream will be Street Fighter 6, likely me taking one of these characters that I haven't used again, ranked, and doing it. So maybe like Dalsim or maybe Lily, take them from a little bit of casual play into ranked and see how I do now with no input delay, just like I did with Honda back on Friday night. Okay? So that is what we're doing for the week. Now, next week will be interesting. Yes, there will be more Fallout 4. Yes, there'll be more Street Fighter 6. If we don't finish Crow Country, we'll finish it. And there's probably going to be more Stardew Valley. New game premiering on Tuesday of next week, Still Wakes the Deep, which is a horror game. And that's going to lay the groundwork for us to get ready for the Elden Ring DLC the week after on Friday. Okay? How dare you, Jasper? Don't attack my bottle cap. This is not Fallout. It doesn't have any currency value. Don't attack that bottle cap. Okay. All right, guys. So that is the week. I know that was a lot to talk about. There was a lot to discuss, but we got through it. Don't really have any game news to talk about today. However, I do have an equipment update. So ever since I added all these different noise gates and limiters and things on my microphone a couple months ago, a lot of people have said they feel that the audio quality sounds better. You no longer hear the mic go crazy loud when I go screaming, or if I sneeze or clear my throat. It doesn't sound overly loud anymore. A lot of people like that. But I also have been getting some complaints that people are saying it is cutting off some of my words. That sometimes if I start with a statement, the beginning part of the first word isn't caught by the mic, and you kind of hear half of a word. I've heard that sometimes if I'm just like sitting back, like sit back like this, oh, now you didn't hear the word because I sat back. Or if I'm trailing off at the end of a show or the end of a sentence, sometimes that gets cut off. So I got some advice from OP Boone to change the settings again. Jasper, you're a silly boy. A silly kitty boy. Look at the camera, though. So, I got recommendations, and I tweaked the settings. And as of this morning, the settings should have been amended, okay? I don't know if this will sound any better or worse than how it's been sounding. I'm going to be talking a lot during the React today, so maybe it's a good opportunity to test it and see. Let me know. Let me know what you think of these changes, because we can. What it was like very restrictive before. I've made it slightly less restrictive now, so hopefully we don't get those words getting cut off and stuff. Keep in mind that everyone's setup's different, so there aren't necessarily the perfect settings for any microphone, because it depends more on your atmosphere where you're recording and stuff like that. So hopefully this is good. And by the way, Roadblock says, yes, your audio has been much improved. You're no longer quieter than literally everyone else online. I'm happy to hear that. Keep in mind, in order to get that, I had to do a 6 decibel boost on my microphone. I don't know why this mic is so low, but I had to artificially increase the decibel level like a ton in order for it to be loud enough. The gameplay actually is fine. And in fact, with my new capture device, the gameplay is even louder. So the audio of the direct feed stuff has always been good. It's just been this microphone that's been so low. But it's funny because the quality of the mic is great, right? It's a studio quality mic. I've got the Scarlett, whatever they call this. I don't know what they call it. It's not a mixer. It has a name, and I keep forgetting what it's called. I've been using this for a decade, and it sounds great. Like, the audio quality is absolutely outstanding. I just don't know why we have this issue with the volume level, but at least we got it fixed, right? At least we figured it out. This year, we had a lot of improvements, correct? Seriously, like, oh, and by the way, Dentronic says, since the huge audio upgrade, the gameplay music and sound effects have enhanced the experience. That's, again, because my capture device improved, and 2 weeks ago or 1 week ago, I doubled my audio quality. So now both the quality of the stuff on the mic and the gameplay and everything should sound much, much better. If you listen in like stereo or surround sound headphones, your quality should be dramatically improved from what you were hearing before. So this year, dude, what improvements I've had this year, if you really think about it, right? Big dramatic improvements to the microphone and the audio here. Big improvements to the capture setup. Big improvements to the overall audio setup. Like everything. If it's a studio mic and a Cartoid, the mic would have a low volume. I think it is. I think that's what this is. It's meant to be a professional level microphone, which is probably why it has that lower volume, I would bet. Yeah. I've had microphones that were much, much louder, but they were cheaper. This was an expensive mic when I bought it many years ago. And I'm happy because here we are pretty much nearly a decade later. I want to say I got this in 2015. So it's probably around 9 years old. Because I think originally I upgraded my PC in 2014. And then I did all the audio stuff in 2015. That's when I added all the soundproofing and everything. So for a 9-year-old mic, dude, this thing's great, right? Sure. Time for a background upgrade. I mean, we are doing different backgrounds every single month. People said that since last year when I implemented this art that they really like the background upgrades. If you're saying new stuff, I mean, I have to look into that. Like, what new stuff could I get for the backgrounds? I'm not sure, right? Like, what kind of new stuff could I get? I don't really want to spend a lot of money on new art when I have so much already, you know? Okay. So, there you go. I think we have, at this point, pretty much covered all of the topics that I wanted to cover this morning on the show. It took 40 minutes, but we got through all of it. I think since we got so much going on, right? If anyone wants to shoot some questions my way, tag me in the chat. We could do some open Q&A. We haven't done this in a while. So if you want to do some open Q&A, I'm down for that. You know, we haven't done it at all. Like Friday was an abridged podcast. Saturday, we were turboing through Summer Game Fest. We didn't even do a podcast yesterday. So probably people have some questions for me today. We could do that and see where it takes us. All right. I don't have any contributions to shout out as of yet. Now, you guys remember that FYI, do I have the right thing open here? I think this is the right one. Yes, I do have it because look. Okay, I want to make sure I have the right thing open. I do have the right queue open. So yeah, remember, any contributions that you throw my way on this podcast, or it will help the React show. They count towards the React show. So we get a few bucks here of tips that'll count towards the goals on the React show. And remember, my goal is to try to hit 50 bucks of tips every stream. I consider this podcast plus the React show one stream, even though technically it's two. So please consider contributing, and thank you for your support. I really appreciate that. Favorite World of Warcraft class? When I first started in World of Warcraft, when it was a brand new game, I had a Tauren. I want to say it was like a Tauren Hunter, something like that, I think is what I had. And it just seemed like a really weak class. Everyone had said at launch the Tauren class was like the worst one, which sucked because I actually really liked the look of the class. But it is what it is. After that, I think I made both an Ogre and like a Paladin character too that I alternated between. So, but that's, I mean, I barely played World of Warcraft. I played it at launch for like maybe 4 or 5 months. And then I played it one more time in the mid-2000s with some coworkers when I worked at Best Buy. And then that was the last time I played it. Based on how Summer Game Fest and the Xbox Live Reacted went, will I now react to the Game Awards? Man, you know, I don't know. I don't know, because the Game Awards, number one, the Game Awards always have tons of, like, issues with copyright because of the amount of stuff in it. You know, the Game Fest, all they're doing is presenting games. The Game Awards, usually they have music and other things going on. And plus, I'll be honest with you, I think the Game Awards are quite boring. I think they're way too long, and they try to drag it out to make it be like the Oscars, and it's just not very entertaining. At least when you're watching Summer Game Fest, you're watching it to get all this information about new games. Game Awards, it's like fluff and shit, you know? So for me, I'm like, I don't think so. I'm just not that interested in the Game Awards, nor do I care about who wins the awards either. You know what I'm saying? So, Coffee Lover just did a $2 super chat, said, I enjoyed the Stardew Valley stream, good vibes. I assume you're talking about when I played Stardew Valley for about an hour to 90 minutes. It was about an hour, I think, during my Indies marathon a couple weeks ago. Yeah, for me, that was fun. It was relaxing, and it was a good introduction, I feel, to the game, but we didn't get that far, right? We didn't even get into the meat of the game yet. That's why I'm excited to see how the stream will go on Tuesday night. 1 second. I want to get this out of the way because my fan keeps blowing it onto the floor. So I just want to move this to the other side of the room. Okay? Oh. Okay. Where is the movie reviews? What do you mean, Big Mike? What movie reviews are you speaking of? I don't know what you're talking about. What movie reviews would I be doing? I don't do movie reviews, really, right? What I am planning on doing is when The Boys Season 2 comes out, which I think is in a week or two, right? I want to say it's like the middle of the month. I'm gonna start watching it, and I'm gonna do a review of it, much like how I reviewed the Fallout show. I'll probably do a night stream where the first hour I summarize the entire season and my thoughts on it, and then the second hour we do an interactive stream where we talk back and forth about different plot points and things like that about the show. So a live review per se, just like we did with Fallout, the show about 2 months ago. So I am planning on doing that. I don't know exactly when it comes out. Does anyone know exactly the release date of the Boys Season 4? What I need to do, I need to read a synopsis of the finale of Season 3, because I was watching it like a year ago or 2 years ago. I can't even remember. And I basically kind of like stopped watching it and didn't finish it. I think I watched like half the season at least, but I just don't want to play catch up. I just want to start watching it. It starts Thursday the 13th. Are you serious? It starts this Thursday? Oh. It starts this Thursday? Oh my God, I got so much going on. Oh man, well. Well, I guess what I'm going to do then, I'm going to read a synopsis of the end of Season 3 to get caught up on how it ended. And it releases Thursday. I guess I got to start watching it. It's probably going to be like, what, 8 episodes? It's going to take me a while to get through it. Probably, at least a week. I mean, I can't turbo through it or anything. So I'll probably start watching it. And I'll probably have my live review maybe next week. Maybe the end of next week if I can get through it. But it depends on how quick I can get through it, watching it, All right. Thank you for telling me. I had no idea it was that soon. I thought it was like later in the month. This month is flying by. I mean, it's the 10th. The Elden Ring DLC is out in 11 days. Can you believe that shit? This month is like turboing by ultra fast. Like, oh my God, before you know it, it's going to be the middle of the summer. Mr. Game Master, how are you doing? He did a $2 super chat and he says, I'm watching the Ubisoft Showcase recap later. I'm not going to be doing any kind of recap reactions to that. What I'll do is I'll try to get caught up on the news and just talk about it on the podcasts here. But in reality, there's usually not that much to talk about. I mean, what are they going to do? Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed, and who cares about the rest, right? I don't even care what else they're going to present. I really don't. What are they going to have? Fucking stupid X Defiant or some dumb shit? Like, who gives a shit? Jasper, did you find anything good in the closet? Find anything good in there? You went in the closet for a little bit. The Boys this episode releases over time. Oh, they do? They don't just drop the whole season? I didn't know that. Is it going to be one episode a week? If that's the case, that sucks. It's going to take like 2 months. Oh, why are they doing that? If it really is only one episode a week, I could do a review a week then. I'll just have to do it episodic rather than like the Fallout review. How do they do it? Excuse me. How do they do it? Does anyone know actually how they release it? Do they do it one episode a week? Hello? Hello? Usually 1 to 3 episodes on the premiere and then 1 episode a week. Maybe that, so whatever they drop for the premiere, I will watch and review. And then I'll probably do 1 review a week per episode. Okay, we could do that. We could do that. Cool. Exactly. Bueller. 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 Why The Boys? Because it's a hot show everyone likes, based on superhero lore and superhero kind of stuff. There's 3 episodes releasing on Thursday and then 1 a week after. Okay. There's no way I can watch that all on Thursday. I'll probably have to watch it over the course of a few days. But I'm down to watch it for like a few days and maybe do the first review maybe like over the weekend if I can. Or early next week, and then once a week do the reviews. Okay, cool. Oh, by the way, I should bring this up. If you saw any games during the Xbox showcase that you're interested in, and they're on Game Pass, a lot of them you can already pre-download. Like, I already pre-downloaded Still Wakes the Dead. Get this. I already pre-downloaded Call of Duty Black Ops 6. It's already on my Xbox. It's already available to pre-download, and then when they release the beta, it's already on your console to play. I don't know why, but yeah. Well, I put Pressure Washer Simulator into the late night stream rotation. I don't think we ever talked about that, Ethan, that dude. I think we did try it ages ago. It was on Game Pass, and so we played it as like when we were doing a Game Pass night. And I thought it was neat, but no one really actually really like cared for it or wanted it, so we never went back to it or anything. No, Follow the Candy. Kat doesn't really like superhero stuff that much at all. So because of that, she probably would not be interested in The Boys. It'll probably be something that I watch for myself. Unlike Fallout, which we loved watching together because she likes that. It'll probably be something I watch for myself. Excuse me. What are you doing, Jasper? Stop this right now. Jeez. Okay. Since you downloaded Black Ops 6, you get Woods skins that are a pre-order bonus for free, says Jex Gaming. Oh, yeah? Jasper, no. You're not going to be chewing my wires this morning. Absolutely not. Don't even get started with that. No, stop that. Do not chew wires. We already have issues with the Xbox wire because you chewed it before. We're not going to have you chewing wires again. Stop that right now. Don't get fresh. You've been a good boy all morning. Don't get fresh. He's overstepping his boundaries. Andre the DJ says there is a tennis game coming out for PS5 in August. I wouldn't blame you if it's not on your radar. For a tennis fan, it could be a good game. Oh, yeah, I mean, not a tennis fan. I don't even really understand the rules of tennis, the deuce and that kind of stuff. Like, I don't really get it. You know, I've played tennis games like Mario Tennis and stuff, but I'm not a tennis aficionado, so I don't think I would be interested. Jasper, please stop. Could you please, Jasper, could you, boy, all wires alone. All wires alone. Okay, that's it. Where is it? Here it is. All right, it's time. You're not listening. Got to put the water bottle down. I'm not going to spray him, but I put the water bottle down. He backs off. No, I've said this a million times. We're not going to get another cat, even though we've thought about other pets. We thought about getting another cat or a dog. But Jasper is the kind of cat, he has a personality type that he wants to be the center of the attention at all times. If he's not getting the attention, he gets very upset. In the middle of us doing stuff like cooking or cleaning or folding clothes or whatever, he keeps jumping into it and he keeps getting involved in everything. And the moment that we try to give attention to something else, he gets very jealous and upset. So if we were to get another pet, he would immediately start acting out and be destructive. He'd probably start pooping and peeing all over the house, you know, doing things he's not supposed to do. basically just being very, very, how do you say? Very, very disruptive and misbehaving. And we don't want to put him in that situation. He's used to being the only pet in the house, and so that's that. It's just his personality type. Different pets are very different. Some pets are very laid back and they don't care and they'll get along with other pets, but he would never would. Like when he sees another cat outside, there's a cat that kind of patrols our neighborhood and sometimes goes in our backyard. The moment he sees this cat, he goes arr, and he starts hissing and is freaking out and getting very pissed off that there's another cat in the area. Can you imagine how if we brought another cat into the house as a pet? It would not work. Anso Kamaru says Metal Slug Tactics is finally has been in development and now it's getting a PC demo. Oh yeah, I like Metal Slug. I don't know about a tactical Metal Slug though. Gathering Hall Live, we have not dropped Hades 2. What we have done is put the playthrough on hold until the game is developed further because people were upset that I was playing it in early access and basically saying, you know, we don't want to keep following because this is a game that we want to play when it's done. We don't want to spoil ourselves now or play an earlier version of the game that may not be representative of the final version. I was absolutely loving it, but that's the feedback I got. Like, people who are hardcore fans of Hades told me, stop playing Hades 2 now because it's early access. And I was like, all right, I guess. You know, I loved it, but we were getting streams where people weren't showing up, the videos weren't getting any views, and everyone was complaining, don't play it now. So that's why I stopped. I got to listen to the audience, sadly. As much as I enjoyed it, I had to put it on hold. So we are going to go back to it. I mean, I bought it. I own it. So we are going to go back to it when it does get more content. Game Boy, how are you today? Follow the Candy says put a giant aquarium behind you. That could be probably one of the worst ideas ever. Number one, if you put a giant aquarium in this room, that means I have to clean it and everything inside of the room where I work. Can you imagine the hassle? Trying to drain a giant tank, clean a giant tank inside of my workroom. Number two, this room is full of electronics at all times, meaning the temperature differential is huge. The actual, stuffiness or humidity of the air is different in this room. It's not a good room to have pets like that in. So, the answer is no, that would be a very bad idea. I'm not going to do that. Eternal did a super chat. Consider playing Undisputed Boxing in December. I know nothing about it. I couldn't even tell you the last time that I tried a boxing game. It's been so dang long. I don't even know. Would anyone be interested in seeing me play a boxing game in October? Yes, Game Boy, we're doing the React show right after this podcast. We're all heading over to DSP Reacts. That's right. Yes, fish tanks are a lot of work. Even if you set them up to be a self-sufficient ecosystem, at some point you do still have to drain and replace the water, clean them out and stuff. Can you imagine me trying to do that in my office with all my work equipment and stuff? Probably a bad idea, right? What about NBA 2K? That's another one. I haven't played it many, many years and don't really follow the NBA. Every once in a while, people seem to have demand for me to try to play it again, but I'm not really into it, you know? NBA 2K is on Game Pass. It is, right? But it's not. Is it when the game first comes out? Is it on Game Pass? Or is it after the fact, like later? I don't know. I did enjoy the MLB The Show streams. They were more chill, you know, interactive streams than anything. It wasn't like I was playing those games for the baseball gameplay, right? I was playing them for the fact that we kind of talked a lot and interacted. Sometimes I even did like karaoke requests, which was pretty funny. Easy freeze. If I go back to Minecraft, I will likely just start fresh. I don't see myself really going back and trying to resume my efforts of that year and a half that I played it like weekly. That was a great time, by the way. That was a great chill stream game in the rotation. But after a while, I just kind of got bored of the projects and everything. I don't know what I would do in Minecraft now. I don't know if they've even changed it since, because when I was playing it, they actually were constantly changing it, right? And they were adding new content and everything. So I don't know. Spawn Killer, thanks for the super chat. No, I am not reacting to Ubisoft Forward, nor should I think anyone else should be watching it either. There's 2 games Ubisoft making that I'm interested in: Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed. I don't really care about anything else they're doing. So why am I going to sit there and watch like an hour-and-a-half presentation of them to just talk about nonsense? Probably fucking Just Dance again and dumb shit like that, right? I'm not wasting time on that. So I'll just get caught up on all the news after the fact. Jasper, what are you staring at the wall for? What's over there? Anything interesting? Staring at the wall. All right. What else would you guys like to talk about? We got a little bit of extra time before we jump over to the stream, the React stream, that is. So any topics, any ideas, anything you'd like to discuss, everybody? Follow the candy. What you're saying is ridiculous. I'm not going to even repeat it. Am I a fan of Les Mis? I saw the movie. I thought it was good, but I never saw the musical or anything. And the movie is one of the most depressing stories I think I've ever heard in my life. Like, at the end of the movie, there's no happy ending. It's just super sad. I was like, wow, what a deflating movie. Like, literally, I was like, wow. Like, I liked the acting. I liked the cinematography. I thought the music and singing was amazing. And then it just ends. It's like, this is fucked up. Like, this is a fucked up story, right? Like, why does this exist like this, and why do people like it? Like, I get it. The music's great, the singing, but don't you want, like, a triumphant story of overcoming rather than a story of just misery, 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 bad things, misery, misery, bad things, misery, bad things, and misery? Oh, great. Again, it's kind of like Last of Us 2, where don't you have enough bad things in real life that are going on that you don't need to have an awful story in your fantasy? Like, the whole idea of entertainment is supposed to be, this is fantasy, right? So maybe there's a hero who overcomes insurmountable odds. There's a cool setting of medieval or fantasy stuff, magic, and you know, things that you can't do in real life. That's what you do in your entertainment, right? Why do I need a miserable story of humans being crushed, dreams being smashed, lives being ruined, all set in a war-torn France, right? Like, why do we need that? And again, I love everything about everything about it. I respect the music, the acting, the cinematography. Everything is great, but the story is so depressing. It's like, why did I watch this? You walk away saying, wow, what an amazing fucking thing. Why am I so sad? Right? Jasper, no, Jasper. You're not doing that. Come on now. You're not doing that. Now he's messing with my lights. This is getting ridiculous at this point. You are not messing with my lights. No. Mess with the wig. He's messing with the cloud wig. You can mess with the cloud wig. That I don't care. Go ahead. Play with the cloud wig. But don't mess with the lights. For God's sakes. All right. I might have to rearrange my lights now because he knocked some of them over there on the right-hand side. I received my first tip of the day. Gathering Hall Live with the first tip of the day, 666 tip. Let's get the animation going. Jasper, I told you not to play with that, so don't. Better not be messing with my lights. Let's get Gathering Hall Live on the leaderboard and let's see what he has to say. Or they have to say. I actually don't know. I should not be gendering people. Especially not today. People will be very upset with me if I get something wrong. We're very critical. Okay. Just dropping some support. I don't get to watch live, but I like listening to your stuff in the background while I work. Thank you for the content. Don't let bastards grind you down, my friend. Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't pay any attention to any of their nonsense. Really. I don't. This year has been a great year for that. where I don't pay any attention to toxic nonsense at all. I just ignore it and I go on my merry way. And this year's been great. I've been very happy to stay out of drama and any kinds of problems this year. Now Jasper has gone underneath the stand behind me. He's completely flattened. You're flattened. You're a flattened kitty. He's completely flattened and he's like looking around, rolling around underneath the stand. How cute. What are you doing? That's it. I think he's snuggling up to the light strip. Let me just make sure he's not messing with the light strip. I don't even know what that there, but oh, don't fight. That is he found a little plastic bag with something in it that was under there that I didn't know was there, and I want to see what it is. I must have also found some dust under there. Ugh. I want to see what it is, but he wouldn't let me. He was being silly and being defensive and doing like the kitty defense with his paws and teeth. Ugh. But what? He went back under there. What is it, Jasper? What is this? It's a hairnet. Oh, this is the hairnet that came with the cloud wig. You're supposed to put this over your hair to hold down your real hair, and then you put the cloud wig over it. That's what this is. Ah. I didn't even know that was under there. I had no idea that that was under there. That's silly. Excuse me. That's silly. You want to play with the bag? Here, you can play with the bag. Here. Go play with that. Play with the bag. He is playing with it. That's funny. Spawn Killer did a super chat. I find it hilarious when other streamers say The Last of Us 2 is one of the best video game stories ever. I'm like, are you high? I thought it was horrible. Listen. Each their own. But from a narrative standpoint, a writing standpoint, it was trash. First of all, the order of the story was all fucked up, right? The whole idea of you start, it's called in medias res. You start a story, critical things happen, then you have to go back in time, right, to see what happened before, and then you jump back to the present. It's an okay narrative use, but not in that game. Why would you want to play the present and then halfway through the game go back in time to play Abby's story? It doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it's just very frustrating the way they wrote it. It's just bad writing, bad pacing, bad narrative development whatsoever. Then on top of that, in order to push particular plot lines and agendas, they changed the characterizations of many of the major characters of the first game. Ellie and Joel, particularly, act absolutely nothing like their characters from the first game right from the get-go. Right from the beginning of the game, it's like they're completely different characters. So, if you like the first game, this game is a big spitting in your face. That's the problem. If you're going to have narrative changes, that's fine. Explain why. Why did Ellie turn from a survivalist girl who's totally different from everyone else because she grew up in this post-apocalyptic world and doesn't understand how kids could be so frivolous and angsty and teen, and then in the beginning of the second game, she's an angsty, frivolous teen doing dumb shit like smoking weed and making out with girls in basements of zombie-infested houses. It doesn't make any fucking sense at all. It's stupid. You've rewritten the character for your own purposes. The other problem, the game is a one-trick pony when it comes to the plot. Vengeance for wrongdoing. Abby wants vengeance, kills Joel. Ellie wants vengeance, kills all the other people who are friends with Abby. There's nothing to it. It's a one-note story. It's incredibly simplistic. It's also overly gory for the fact that they want to try to emphasize how dark the apocalypse is, but it doesn't really prove anything or do anything besides shock value. It's this simple. There's nothing wrong with liking the plot of Last of Us 2, but if you think it's anything complex, you're just fooling yourself. It's one of the most simple stories ever written. It's a simpleton story. But it gets the point across. If you like incredibly gritty, gory, fucked up stories of misery, that's what it is. So if that's what you like, great. I can't make you not like something, right? But at the same time, you're not going to find any literary experts telling you that the story of Last of Us 2 is a masterpiece. They're going to tell you it's fucking terrible. But no one asks literary masterpiece writers or people who are experts. We ask journalists, right? Who don't know fucking shit, and they all think it's good, so now everyone else has to think it's good too. Okay. So thank you, Spawn Killer, for the super chat. And I received a $2 tip. Tony Soprano. What? It's some dumb shit. I'm not going to read it. Go fuck yourself. There you go. No $2 tip. It's a piece of shit. Go fuck yourself. Jasper, stop. I said to stop. Stop it. Listen. Stop. Don't play with my wires. He doesn't listen. Play with the bag, not with the wires. Ugh. No, not the wires. The bag, not with the wires. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. Anything else, guys? We're coming to the end of the show. Probably another 5-10 minutes. And last chance if you would like to get a question in or a shout out for a contribution. Like I said, all contributions will count towards the podcast. By the way, please support the podcast. It would be great if you did. And please support the React show. It would be great if you did. I appreciate people who have been supporting the React stuff recently. It would be great to have a good React stream today. What's my favorite movie? I don't have one. I have favorite movies of genres, but I don't have an overall favorite movie. Hi, Darkness says, how do you feel about the new Dragon Age game being dog shit? It's not. We don't know that yet. How can you even say that? We don't have any information about the game besides a preview trailer, right? I leave my judgment until we actually see stuff about the game. I didn't like the crafting in the Fallout 4 DLC. I tolerated it to get through the DLC. If you didn't notice, there wasn't that much of it. It was very fast. No, I'm not going to do DSP fries it and review French fries. Since I tried the Mr. Beast chocolate bar, would I be open to make a review of Pokemane's cookies someday? Yeah, if they were oversold at extreme discount at the store because no one buys it because it's junk, and then you want me to review it, sure. If you think I'm going to pay premium pricing for that and line our pockets with money, fuck no. Absolutely not. That's the only reason I bought the Mr. Beast bars. They were clearance at the store. No one had bought them. They just sat there unsold. They put them on extreme clearance to clear the inventory. I don't know anything about hair transplants. I don't know how they work or anything about them, so. I'm not dropping the React show for Street Fighter 6, so you can just stop that right now. All right, Derek, I'll see you over on the React channel. I already shared my thoughts on the new Doom game in my recap reactions yesterday, so go check that video out on DSP Reacts. I'm not going to talk about it here. Can I recommend a couple of good movies? Sure. My favorite comedy of all time is Ghostbusters, and my favorite animated film of all time is The Lion King. So there you go. Go check those out. And I mean the original Lion King, not the CGI remake. That one sucked. All right, well, now that I sneezed, I gotta go blow my nose, so I'll be right back. So I went to blow my nose, and I sat down. I've been talking for 5 minutes, and I forgot to unpause the recording. Oops. You guys didn't miss much. I'm just doing Q&A questions, so sorry if you missed a couple question answers. But basically, Lady Charisma said, if you want more old school Doom-like gameplay, games like Ultra Kill or other boomer shooters are getting bigger on PC. If you have a mini PC, you could play them. We're having a discussion about how with Doom Eternal and now this Doom Medieval game or whatever it's called, I feel like Doom has lost its way. I'm not saying they're bad games. I'm saying they're games that aren't for me. I'm someone who, like, if you're going to use the namesake of something, right? It shouldn't be for the sake of, oh, just because we want to advance it using that IP, but then do something different. It should be you're trying to stay true to what the series was. That's the idea of using the name. This is the equivalent of, like, what just happened with Final Fantasy 16, where it was a fine game. You could like it for what it is, but dude, that was nothing like Final Fantasy. So why do you think that there was a backlash from Final Fantasy fans when it came out saying this isn't like Final Fantasy? We wish you wouldn't call it this, right? That's what happened. People were playing it. They're like, this is nothing like Final Fantasy. So why is it Final Fantasy 16? So with Doom, you're making games that no longer play anything like Doom. They're not in the spirit of the original Dooms. The plot line's all out there crazy now. Nothing like Doom. So why are you still calling it Doom? Just call it something else and go with this obvious game series you want to make that really has nothing to do with Doom at all. Psychoholic says, didn't the new Fallout do exactly that and you liked it a lot? Maybe it won't be that big of a deal. What are you talking about? The Fallout show literally stayed true to most of the lore of Fallout and changed a few quick things here or there to tweak it to be a TV show, but actually is in canon with Fallout. It was its own plot, which is great. That's what I like. You're not taking established characters and changing them or ruining them for the sake of doing a TV show. You're doing its own plot, which is great. But it didn't destroy the original lore or stomp all over Fallout. For the most part, it's accurate to Fallout with a few differences, right? If Doom Eternal and this new Doom Medieval game was mostly like Doom, but had a few different changes, I wouldn't care. Literally, it's nothing like fucking Doom at all. How can you tell me Doom Eternal is like Doom or Doom 2? They're not even the same games. At least Doom 2016, you could say it's close. There's some changes and advancements, but there's a lot of homage things, and it does play a lot like the originals. The fucking Eternal is a completely different game. You might as well call it anything. You might as well call it Punch, Death, Kill. It's the same fucking, it's not Doom at all. If you don't think they didn't destroy the lore or stomp all over it, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Again, in the 90s, the reason that Doom worked was because it was the ultimate badass plot. The Doom guy or Doom Space Marine is not a complex character. He is the ultimate go fuck yourself character. Oh, you want to invade? You want to come from an alternate dimension? It's too bad. You came to the wrong fucking place, and I'm going to make you regret that you ever crossed over that threshold, because I'm going to pick up any weapon I find. I'm going to use any means necessary, even if it's my bare goddamn fucking hands, and I'm going to kill every goddamn demon I see. I'm going to get right to the root of the matter. Whoever's in charge, I'm going to rip his fucking balls off and shove them up his nostrils, right? That's what Doom was about. Not about, oh, I am a space god hero who is part of a ethereal plot of angels and demon aliens and shit. What are you talking about? It's like fan fiction. That's what it is. This is fucking fan fiction. You've turned Doom, and you have a bunch of people who have been fucking fantasizing about what Doom should be for the last 25 years, and now they're making Doom. So now they're writing fan fiction and turning it canon. It's shit. I'm sorry, it's shit in my opinion. The plot of the new Doom games is terrible. It's nothing like the spirit of what the game should have been at all. You know, you had your first Doom, what was it, Doom 2016? That was kind of like the origins. Then they could have went to Earth. Now all of Earth is overrun by monsters and demons, and now the Doom Marine has to save Earth. And you can see all real Earth landmarks and things overrun by monsters, and you're by any means necessary leading the charge of humanity against it. How cool that would have been instead of the fucking dog water game that we got. Oh, you're a fucking space hero, and there's fucking, you're fighting angels. What the fuck are you talking about? What? No. It's not. It doesn't have to be some crazy, zany fan fiction concept. It was a very simple concept. That's what made Doom work. By making Doom stupidly complicated, you've ruined it, in my opinion. Doom Annihilation? No, I don't think I saw that. That was a movie? No, I don't think I've ever heard of that. Let me see. Hold on a second with this lighting. A little better? Or does it look exactly the same? I tried to angle it further upward, but I don't think it really made a difference. Yeah, that's the thing. Most people today who are fans of these franchises aren't fans of the originals. They're fans of the modern interpretations. So, what you're going to find if you go back and you start asking fans of the originals, they're going to be like, man, if you go back and you ask fans of Street Fighter 2, what do you think of Street Fighter 6? They're probably going to be like, meh. You know, I'm the exception to the rule where I'm a long-time, lifelong fan of Street Fighter. I actually really like Street Fighter 6, but hey, I hated Street Fighter 5, right? People don't like it when you take something that's been a part of them growing up, part of their culture, part of their childhood, part of their memory, and you turn it into something different to fucking profit from it. And that's what they've done with Doom. There was no reason why they couldn't have very simply made a franchise based on what they wanted to do with Doom, but just make it its own thing, and that way Doom can stay Doom. But now, when people say Doom, they think, oh yeah, it's that game where non-stop action, running around, rip the head open, get guts, fucking cover yourself in gore. Oh, got some armor pieces. Oh, my rage meter's up. Oh, I run around, super charge everyone. Oh, pull out the guns. Ba-doom, ba-doom, ba-doom. Oh, I got some health now. Put the health down. Oh, I gotta go over here. Oh, fly over here. Super punch. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, no, 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 no. That's not what Doom ever was. Oh yeah, he's a super-powered fucking superhero in space, and he's killing angels and demons. He's ripping their heads off. What? What are you talking about? No. Doom is a simple concept. Humans pushed technology too far before it was ready. They crossed the threshold to hell. Demons are coming through, and it takes one man to solve this fucking problem. The ultimate badass, the Doom guy. Done. That's the plot. You don't have to say another word. That's the game. Now the gameplay speaks for itself. That's it. You don't need anything else. But that's not what they did with the franchise. They wanted to go some weird ass fan fiction plot that sucks. In my opinion, I hate it. But you can like it. You can like it, but just understand that people will be upset with you if you say that that's Doom, because that's modern Doom. That's not what Doom was or was meant to be at its core back in the day. That's correct. They can change whatever they want if they own the IP. That's exactly what they're doing, and that's why fans of the original IP can be upset and have a right to speak their minds. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to deal with it. Okay? All right. Well, we're going long. We have to get the show set up, guys. Okay? So let's switch over to React mode. DSP versus the internet. Okay? I hope you guys enjoyed the return of the show. And we will now be doing this both Tuesday and Wednesday as well. But now it's time for the reaction. I want to say thanks to anyone who did early contribute to the stream here. Thanks a lot. And tomorrow, I'm sure we'll be talking about what happened on the React show. I'm sure we'll be talking about how the Street Fighter session went tonight. And many other things, right? Any other news? This Ubisoft Forward is happening like right now, right? So I'm sure we'll be talking about the Ubisoft Forward as well. And all of that. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.